The fact that so many gun lovers are hunting for the .357 Magnum revolver is not really surprising. There are many reasons why getting a .357 Magnum is a good idea, but if you're looking for the best one, we got you covered because we will be looking at 5 guns which just might save your life one day. Chapwiz Arms Mannerhen MR88. The Chapwiz Arms Mannerhen MR73 is the ideal firearm if you enjoy French-made weapons. The Mannerhen revolvers are famous and in a league of their own, particularly the MR73. In reality, an MR73 outfitted by the GIGN, also known as the French National Germain's most elite tactical police unit, is on display in the manufacturer's factory museum. It's interesting to note that the Mannerhen revolvers cost less than Korth combat revolvers. It is not surprising that many collectors are still interested in Korth firearms because of this, but when it comes to performance and usefulness, the Mannerhen MR73 is in a class by itself. The revolver is made of sturdy material. Additionally, it gives up 25 meters of pinpoint precision. In particular, the 6-shot stainless steel MR88 revolver, its chassis and cylinder release resemble Ruger GP100 revolvers quite a bit. The main thing is that all Mannerhen MR73 series revolvers feature a triple adjustable trigger with an over-travel screw built into the trigger and a hammer force adjustment screw and a hammer spring weight adjustment screw built into the frame. This high level of adjustability allows the shooter to dial in the trigger to the precise specifications needed for maximum control over the shot. However, given that Chapwiz Arms has acquired the rights to make use of the Ruger casting process, it is not entirely unexpected. The barrel sizes for the MR88 include 6, 5.25, 4, and 3 inches. Sadly, this revolver is not very widely available in the US market. Kebco LLC, based in Hanover, Pennsylvania, is the only authorized US dealer of the MR88 revolvers. You would need to pay $1,600 for a 6-inch setup, excluding shipping. Chapa Firearms Rhino 40DS Handgun. If you enjoy testing unusual weapons, you have to go to the Rhino brand. Plus, you'll never be dissatisfied with its functionality or cost. The Chapa Firearms Rhino 40DS handgun, for example, has a strength that can compete with the strongest .357 revolvers on the market. This 6-shooter looks like an offshoot of the traditional .357 Magnum revolvers. You will immediately notice its odd dimensions. Its barrel position is significantly different from the default setting. In particular, the reason why its barrel is low is not merely aesthetic. Because of how low the barrel is, it aligns with your hands. You won't experience any muzzle rise as a result. The disadvantages are minimal because your hands can handle the stress, making it actually a pretty clever decision. Since the recoil is manageable, it's a fantastic option for novices. Even though there aren't many aftermarket options for this revolver, you can still make changes to it. You can test out its various grips. Additionally, it contains a rail on which you can mount various accessories. That's the distinguishing quality of a revolver. This weapon can be equipped with a laser or light for late-night encounters. Overall, the Chapa Firearms Rhino 40DS handgun performs admirably, with stability and user-friendliness. See, because of its no muzzle rise concept, the gun is very easy to handle and use. Sure, your arm may feel a tad bit tired the first few times you start using this gun, but after the 10th shot or so you get used to it and it starts to feel good. But just be aware that after you use this gun, you will be so used to having the muzzle rise that when you try a new gun, it almost feels weird. Purchasing this firearm is always a wise decision, but a wiser decision is to check where you buy it from, considering that this thing ranges all the way from $775 to $1,652. So when you see an offer for it, make sure to nab it as soon as you can. Korth Mongoose .357. If modern .357 Magnum revolvers don't appeal to your sense of style, consider vintage revolvers instead. And if you do, then you ought to pay attention to the Korth Mongoose .357 in particular. This was made by Nighthawk Customs and Korth Waffen teaming up to produce this premium revolver. This revolver performs far better than its competitors, as was to be expected. Its frame and shroud show its finesse. You'll be able to appreciate the artistry in every detail because it is there. A curious gold dot on its front sight adds to the gun's overall elegance. 2 adjustable sights that enable you to control the elevation and windage are located on its back. Let me caution you though, its grip is not for novices. Make sure to hold the pistol properly when using it, neither too tightly nor too loosely. You will be able to fire it properly if you do this. We would describe the Korth Mongoose .357 as having a moderate amount of punch. It can nevertheless strike with great force at long distances. It has a trigger that may be slightly pulled thanks to its single lever and double lever action features. The pricing of this rifle is its worst flaw. We won't lie about how expensive it is, costing up to $9,000 in some places. However, if you have the cash, we advise that you get this revolver. The manufacturers fully list out the gun as having a DLC finish, hammer-forged precision barrel, fully adjustable rear sight, removable side panels on front sight, single and double action trigger, new style quartz cylinder release, easy reload through wide swinging cylinder, modern slim design, changeable cylinder, 9mm lugger, even with moon clip cut. Ruger Super GP100 Competition .357. The Ruger Super GP100 Competition .357 is the go-to revolver to choose if you want a high-capacity Magnum. This one differs greatly from traditional 6-shooters. Its 8-round capacity is just amazing. Furthermore, it maintains its strength whether you use .38 Special or .357 cartridges. Despite having a large recoil, you'll adore its accuracy. The triple locking cylinder technology is present in the Ruger Super GP100. The latter does so by securely locking the gun's bottom, front, and back sections. As a result, it may offer perfect alignment throughout all of its major components. The gun's dependability and durability are simultaneously improved. Additionally, the Ruger Super GP100's interior parts have been polished. They can function at their best even after extended use. The double action trigger on the revolver is also very sharp. It also noted that every time you pull the trigger to fire the gun, a recognizable takeoff occurs. The Ruger Super GP100's smoothness is already established by the centering shims on its hammer. The Super Red Hawk 2-spring lock system is used in the Ruger Super GP100 Competition .357 caliber. It makes the double action cycle of the gun more effective. It also improves the gun's ignition at the same time. Overall, people claim that the gun is very good and very powerful. I mean, the most surprising thing about the whole gun is the fact that it was actually made 35 years ago. This vintage gun is definitely a firearm you should aim to get. The price of this gun does depend on where you buy it, with a price tag ranging from anywhere between $1,600 to over $2,000. So yeah, try to make sure that you don't get scammed on this one. Taurus Model 66 Magnum. We have no problem admitting that we are huge Taurus fans. When it comes to manufacturing high-quality, top-performing revolvers, this Brazilian gun manufacturer is constantly on top of things. In particular, the Model 66 displays an improved model of its earlier .357 Magnum revolvers. The Model 66 does not disappoint at all. As it turns out, we essentially have no concerns about the way it was built or the exterior design. Its stainless steel frame was already attractive, but the matte coating has made it much prettier. Its rubber grip is honestly just amazing. Of course, a lot of people would state that they choose hardwood grips over rubber grips. It makes sense that way, but let me just remind you that its rubber's rough surface helps you maintain your hold. Even if your hands are wet, it won't make the surface slick. In the meantime, its fixed sight increases its overall toughness. The unique transfer bar is another characteristic of the Model 66. It enables you to transport it without having to worry about any mishaps. Interestingly, despite having a 4-inch barrel, it retains full power, although it doesn't have the same force as a larger .357 Magnum revolver. It nevertheless has more than enough stopping power to keep you safe. The main thing about all Taurus guns, especially this one, is that they can be used by people of all skill levels, ranging from just regular novices to actual skilled revolver holders. The flexibility of this gun and the movement that goes along with it just makes it one of the top tier revolvers in the world, and compared to the other guns in this list, the Taurus Model 66 Magnum can be bought for under $500. Needless to say, it's definitely a scam not to buy this. Well, did you guys like this video? If you did, give us a link and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below on some firearms that you guys think are potentially life-saving, and also comment on what video we should make next. Alright folks, with that, have a good one.